Ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Hello. It has been many weeks since I uploaded a video. Actually, that's not true. I uploaded one this morning. But in terms of one with a voiceover, I'm actually here, back in Topdrives. Now today we're going to discuss something very interesting. So we've had, in the time I played the game, which has been a while, we have had... Why? Stop. The problem is... So we've had a couple of updates. We had World Expo. Oh my god. World Expo, Into the Black Forest, Amalfi Coast Cruising, Lock to Lock, Learn the Savannah Way, Pacific Coast Highway, Asian Pacific Grand Prix, and that was the last one, obviously. Now, at that time, we've had World Expo, which was based around the world, pretty much. There was a bunch of different countries that got added. Into the Black Forest was exclusively Germany, Amalfi Coast was Italy, Lock to Lock was Britain, Learn the Savannah Way was obviously Australia, Pacific Coast Highway was America, and then Asia Pacific was a bit of... There was Malaysia, there was Australia, there was Chinese, there was all sorts of stuff in there, right? And pretty much it all, you know, they've all been focused, but we've had the recent updates focused on Asian countries. Obviously, you know, we got Australia, we got Japan, we got China, chucked in there, Malaysia. Oh my god, stop. Hang on, let me just deal with this. This is going to drive me nuts for the whole video. Okay, sorry about that. I've chucked on Do Not Disturb. But yeah, you know, we've got a few cars from these updates as well, and yeah. But my question is, let me move this over. What is the next update going to be? What do we think? Well, I've had some speculation, I've had some thought, and we could be seeing, since I was expecting maybe a Chinese update, since, you know, if we go in here, we go all cars, we go down to West Country. Oh my god, I thought I put it on Do Not Disturb. What? It's just still giving me the notifications. Hang on a minute, let me go back to dealing with this, I apologize. Oh no, hang on, I think I've fixed it now. It will flash up, but it will get rid of. So we've got... Is this... Oh my god, I'm on Do Not Disturb. Stop pulling up notifications. Let's look at the Citroen DS9. We got the 40 VOS, which was added in Pacific Coast Highway. This was also added in Pacific Coast Highway and is apparently Chinese, even though it was originally American. There's this, which is a Mazda CX-4. Give me a minute. Simple solution, I just disable all the apps. And then we have the DiTomaso P72. So we have all these four Chinese cars out of five. I own one, the CX-4, because it's got four adjusted tires and it looks handy. And if I pull one of these, this is an insane 0 to 60, this is not bad either. So, what do you think my next update could be? Well, I have an idea. I'm thinking it's going to be based around a European. It could be based around Russia. We could be seeing Lada get introduced to the game. I don't think Australia is going to be based. And America, I think, is going to be given a miss. I'm guessing it's going to be European. Now, in the entire game, we only have a couple European countries. Why did I just do that? That was dumb. I'm a bit tired, so excuse me. We've got Germany. The UK is not part of it anymore, but you know what I mean. Italy, France, Sweden, the Netherlands, Austria, Croatia, and that's about it. And Switzerland. Sorry, I forgot about Switzerland. What's Swiss? Oh, of course, this weird-looking alien-ass thing. So what could be the next car company that gets newly introduced, or next country that gets an update? Well, I'm thinking it could be Sweden, or just Europe in general, but Sweden, I think, could be here with a shout. Because Sweden, there are only 52 cars. There's Koenigsegg's in the lower end, and then Volvos, which fill in all the rest, you know? I don't own many Volvos. There's not many Volvos actual in the game, actually, not really. There's only a couple, and there's no legendary Volvos. They're all... Yeah, there's only a couple of Volvos. You know, there's some really good ones, like there's legendaries like this one, there's this one, there's this one. There's this one, which I used to own and I sold and now I'm regretting. And there's this one, which is pretty good. This one's good. This one's pretty good as well. This one, this one, this one, and this one. But I think there's another company that hasn't been talked about much, and it's Swedish. And, well, I don't know, what do you guys think it could be? You just think about a Swedish brand in your head that it could be, and I bet you're either going to completely not get it, or you're just going to not think of it. I'm going to go bring it up in a minute, okay? So, this is a Saab. This, I think, could be within a shout of being the next car that is updated in Topdrives. Saab. Why? A couple of reasons. Number one, we don't have many Swedish car companies. It's something that's been lacking, and Volvo hasn't had an update since I think the game came out, and maybe even European Revolution. But I think Saab could be in for a shout because they're cool, they're quirky, and they're weird. And Topdrives seems to like quirky, cool car companies. Take your Ford for an example. So why do I think it's European? Well, obviously we've just had an Asian update, so I don't think it'll be Asian, and we've just had an American update. It could be based around Africa. That could be really cool. We could be seeing South African cars, we could be seeing African cars in general from around, from Zimbabwe, from Mozambique. I don't really know African countries, I apologise. But it could be from around there. It could be from somewhere else in Europe that hasn't really been based on. Denmark, we could be seeing Zenvo introduced into the game. That'd be really cool. But in my opinion, I think Saab makes the most sense because it's a cool car company. They obviously don't exist anymore. Well, the truck company does and the defense part of them does. But Saab that makes cars like this Saab 9.3, don't. Why have I chosen this to show you? Well, this is a Saab. This is not just any normal Saab 9.3. This is a Saab 9 Vegan. This, in my opinion, is a lost, forgotten 2000 Saab. This is basically like a Swedish M3. And I know that's ambitious to say, but it kind of is. It's the Swedish version of an M3, pretty much. An M3 coupe, at least. You know, got the windscreen wiper headlights, you got the wheels, you got the paint, you got the body kit, you got the spoiler, you got the engine. It's speedy, it's got a cool name, Vegan. It's kind of like that. These cars are incredibly rare and incredibly cool, but there's also another car that I want to demonstrate from Saab that some of you might know, some of you might not. I'm going to bring it up the picture. Now, this may look like a knockoff of a Fiat X19 or something else. This is a Saab Sonnet. Now it sounds small. Number one, it's very small. Number two, it's a cool colour. Number three, it's got pop-ups. This, I think, could be cool if it... This is another reason I think it could be interesting. Saab does weird cars like this. They do weird little... They just do weird things. And I think they'd be good to add to the game. Because I think we need an update that's a bit fresh. A European update that doesn't include BMW. We could add some more Mercedes, I guess. But Audi and BMW got a big update. Mercedes haven't really had one since World Expo. I think maybe we could see a European update that include Mercedes, maybe Saab if they're going to bring it into a new game, some more Volvo cars, some more European cars in general. I think that'd be really cool, and I think I'd love a Saab in the game. I'm a Saab person. You may not think it because I love my JDM cars and I love my Japanese stuff, but European car brands do, especially the weirder ones, do interest me, and I like Saabs. I might own a Saab one day. I've been looking at it for a long time. Looked on Trade Me, and there's been a couple pop up that are real cheap, and I'm like, damn, could I get myself a Saab? That'd be real cool. Not any good Saabs like the Vegan or a Sonnet, but just normal Saabs. But still cool, so who cares? Yeah, but also something about Mercedes. I've been looking at a lot of classical Mercedes recently. You know, the older ones, 190E, 230E, 300Es, all this kind of stuff. That'd be really cool. We don't have any of those in the game. Not really. I mean, I'm down. I mean, we've got stuff like this 190E, which I guess, you know, and there's the S280, sorry, the 280 SL, the 300 SL, and the 230T estate. But that's it. We don't have any other classical Mercedes. Not really. I mean, there's two uncommons. One is this, which is a dictator's car. I'm pretty sure it says it in the description. No, sinister Uber Limo. What is going on with my English? And this got a picture change. Not this update, but a couple of while ago. There are some older Mercedes like this this 300 and, you know, this 190E. But I think we should see more, like, much older Mercedes, like fintails and stuff like that. I think it'd be much cooler. And another G-Wagon or two that are maybe a bit better. Like some military spec G-Wagons, because right now we only got this one in Super Rare. And yeah, there are some other ones like this and this, but you never know. Yeah, I don't know. Just think it would be cooler if we saw maybe more Mercedes, older ones. Maybe not, I don't know. And, I mean, yeah, Saab, and here it is. This is the last model of Saab ever made, ever. Last production Saab ever made before GM kind of fucked up the company. GM basically bottled this company. They're known for killing companies. They've killed many in the past. I mean, Pontiac, and I can't think of all of them, but there's Pontiac, there's Saturn, Holden. I mean, the list goes on. There's a load of them. If you look it up online, it just never ends. And I think it's a shame, because if you look at this, I mean, this is a really nice Swedish 3 Series competitor. It's clean, it's sharp, I like the way it looks. The insides are nice, it's well made, and it's safe, and it's just a very Swedish car. It's Volvo and Saab were just, if you wanted a European car that was a little bit different, you went for a Volvo for estate cars, or went for a Saab if you wanted something that was a bit more odd. They were both cool cars, and Volvo's the one that soldiered on. They're owned by the Chinese now. So it's not really a Swedish car company anymore. I think it would be cool to have Saab in the game as a reminder. There are no Saabs in video games. If you go, there's no Saab in Forza Horizon, I'm pretty sure. There's no Saab in Gran Turismo. There's nothing. There's none of these in any video games. So Hutch, if you watch my videos, which is, probably not, I would love for this Saab to be included in this game, because it would be kind of a memento, like a thing. I mean, if we all watch Top Gear, because, Top Gear was a show around the world. They had over 250 million people at one point. They did a tribute to Saab, where they went through all the Saabs, and they were like, these are all the cool Saabs. I think it would be cool. I think something like, it's kind of like that, but more permanent. You know what I mean? Just a little thing for Saab people. And it would be cool, because there are probably tons of people who own Saabs in Europe, who play Topdrives, because I know there are a lot more European players than there are people like me in New Zealand. And it would be, I remember that recently I went to Christchurch. I remember walking down the street and I saw a Saab, not this one, but I think it was 2010 Saab. And you never see new ones. If you ever see one, and on a very rare occasion, old, like 2007, or not 2007, sorry, like 2003 or 90s Saab, you don't see ones like this. And I saw it, and it was an estate. It was clean as hell. And I was looking up and down this car. I was taking pictures of it, and this guy came back. He had a briefcase and a suit and tie on, and jeans. And I was expecting him to walk straight past, because it was a BMW 5, was it M550 X-Drive, and it was there, right? And I was like, I bet you that's his car. And I was taking pictures, and he walked up to the Saab, and I was like, oh my god. And he was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh hey mate, nice car. And he's like, thanks, I just use it to get to work. And I'm like, yeah, but it's a Saab. Do you know how rare these are? And he's like, no. And we had a little talk for a while. It was nice converging with someone. He said, he got it from ages ago. He bought it new, because they apparently sold them in New Zealand new, which I didn't know. And he said, I've kept it ever since, 'cause it's been reliable, it's very cool. And I just, I don't see too many of them roads, and I'd much rather have it than, the equivalent German or Japanese thing, or even American. So, Saab owners, everyone thinks they're boring people. No, that's not true. Saab owners are interesting people. It's just, you've got to talk with them a little bit. But yeah, I think Saabs, this one, the Sonnet, and especially the Viggen, because that's cool, should all be in the game. I just think, it would be a really cool thing just to have in the game a new Swedish brand, a new European brand, because let's face it, there aren't that many European brands. Well, there are in the game, I guess, but I think it's time Hutch starts adding more new car brands instead of just adding to old ones like they've done with stuff like well, I think every new update has a new car brand in it, I'm pretty sure. Apart from Enter the Black Forest, did that have any new ones in it? I don't think it did. Amalfi Coast might have, but I can't remember. World Expo probably did. Yeah, World Expo had a few. And Lock to Lock had some. Savannah, obviously, then Savannah Way had some. And obviously, the latest one had the Malaysians and the Japanese and all that stuff. But yeah, European update. I think it'd be really cool, I don't think there are any more Saabs. I know in America they made SUV Saabs. Those don't really count as Saabs in my mind, because they're just based on other GM products like Cadillacs. I mean, this Saab on screen right now, Vauxhall Insignia. I mean, it just is. You can, if you know your Vauxhall Insignias, you can tell from the way the window pillar's shaped and the whole, this thing and the wheels and the side profile is very Vauxhall Insignia. But yeah, it's a very smart looking car in my mind. Just very clean. See, this is a Saab. This is a Saab 97X. And apparently it's based on a Chevy Trailblazer. But what's interesting about this is, in America, you could buy a hot version of this car. So the Chevy Trailblazer SS, the one that's in the game. I have it maxed out, actually. The one that's in the game, everyone says it's really good. It's got a 4.5 0 to 60, and it's got, 154 top speed, and kind of crap handling, but what do you expect? They did a hot version of, they basically did that car, but with Saab badging on it. So it had the same V8, had the same supercharger, had the same everything. It was just based to be more luxurious. That would have been cool. But to be honest, at the end of the day, it's still a big boat. There's also, if you scroll up, there's this, which is like a Mercedes E-Class all-terrain, but the Saab edition. I've waffled long enough. I just realised this video is 15 minutes long, and if you're still with me, thank you very much for watching this video. So yeah, I've covered a lot of things today. Anyway, smash like, subscribe, and if you want to waffle more about what I think next update could be, yeah, just drop your predictions in the comments below, and we'll see where we get with that, because I'd like to know what you guys think. Anyway, take care, guys. I'm going to continue playing some Topdrives, grinding this tune up and everything, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-da!